In 2001, the skies over Kerala opened up and bled. For 60 days, blood-red rain fell from clouds. Scientists rushed to analyze it. What they found inside those raindrops would challenge everything we thought we knew about life on Earth. Some claimed it was alien cells. Others said it was just spores. But 15 years later, a new discovery would prove everyone wrong. This is the story of the Kerala red rain mystery, and why some scientists still aren't convinced we've solved it. July 25th, 2001. Kottayam district, Kerala. The monsoon season was in full swing, but nothing could prepare the residents for what happened that afternoon. At exactly 2:30 p.m., the sky turned grey-green, a color locals later described as sickly and wrong. Then it began to rain, but this wasn't normal rain. This was thick, red, almost like diluted blood. For the first 10 minutes, people thought it was just mud mixed with water. Then it kept falling. For 2 hours straight, the red rain pounded the district. And here's where it gets strange. It wasn't everywhere. It was localized. Specific houses got drenched in red. The neighbors just meters away got normal rain, as if someone had drawn a line in the sky. Over the next 60 days, this phenomenon would repeat across Kerala. 5 million people would witness it. 100,000 liters of red rainwater would be collected. The Indian government would launch one of the most bizarre scientific investigations in the country's history. Dr. Godfrey Louis was a physicist at Mahatma Gandhi University, which is just 50 kilometers from ground zero. When he first heard about the red rain, he assumed it was just desert dust. It's happened before. Sand from the Sahara travels thousands of kilometers and tints rain red. Simple explanation and case closed. But when Dr. Louis put the rainwater under a microscope, he didn't find sand. He found cells. Living, or once living biological cells. Roughly 10 micrometers in size. It is about the same as red blood cells. They were deep, crimson red in color. Here's what baffled him. These cells had no nucleus. No DNA that he could detect using standard tests. They were like nothing in the biological textbooks. They could survive extreme heat up to 300 degrees Celsius. They thrived in acid, and when cultured in nutrients, they multiplied slowly. These are the living cells that didn't follow the rules of life as we knew it. Dr. Louis made a controversial claim. These cells, he said, were extraterrestrial. They came from a comet or meteor that had disintegrated in the atmosphere, seeding the clouds with alien biology. The scientific community laughed, then they got angry. NASA got involved. Well, sort of. Dr. Louis presented his findings at a conference in the United States. The media went wild. Alien rain in India. But peer review was brutal. Other scientists pointed out that the cells looked suspiciously like lichen spores. Specifically, spores from Trentapolia annulata, a green algae that grows on trees across Kerala. The explanation seemed solid. Heavy winds before the red rain had been recorded. The spores got swept into the atmosphere and mixed with rain. Fell as red precipitation. Simple. No aliens required. The case was declared solved in 2006. Dr. Louis was dismissed as a publicity seeker. The world moved on. But Dr. Louis wouldn't let it go. He kept studying those cells. And in 2010, he published something that made everyone uncomfortable. Using more advanced DNA detection methods, he found genetic material. And it didn't match any known Earth organism. Not exactly. The similarity to Trentapolia was superficial. The genetic code was different. Then came the sonic boom. On July 25th, 2001, the first day of the red rain, Residents across Kerala reported a loud explosion in the sky, a flash of light. Some described it as greenish, others said white, but everyone agreed that something had entered the atmosphere and broken apart. Dr. Louis calculated the trajectory. If a cometary fragment had disintegrated over Kerala at precisely 2:15 p.m., the debris would take 15 minutes to settle into the cloud layer. The red rain started at 2:30 p.m. The timing was perfect. And then researchers found historical precedents. Red rain had fallen in Kerala before, 1896 and 1950, both times coinciding with meteor sightings and contained same mysterious cells. In 2001, we just had better microscopes to see what was really there. This is where panspermia enters the picture, the theory that life didn't originate on Earth. It came to Earth billions of years ago, carried by comets and asteroids. It's fringe science, but it's not pseudoscience. Nobel laureates have proposed it. NASA takes it seriously enough to fund research. And here in Kerala, we might have found the first fresh sample in modern history. In 2018, a new team re-examined the red rain samples using electron microscopy and advanced genomic sequencing. They found something disturbing. The cell walls contained unusual polymers. These are complex molecules that don't match any known terrestrial algae. The internal structure showed compartmentalization unlike Earth life, and the fluorescence patterns under UV light were biologically wrong. The team published cautiously. They didn't claim aliens. They said, the biological origin of these cells remains unresolved. They display characteristics inconsistent with known local flora. In scientific language, that's explosive, which means they have no idea what that was. Then came the silence. Funding for red rain research dried up. Samples were moved to secure storage. Dr. Louis, now in his 70s, claims he's been discouraged from further publication. Conspiracy? Maybe. Or maybe the scientific establishment just got tired of the controversy and wanted to move on to less embarrassing questions. So what do we actually know? We know red rain fell in Kerala for 60 days in 2001. We know it contained biological cells. We know those cells have unusual properties. We know they don't match any known Earth organism perfectly. We know a meteor exploded overhead on the first day. The spore theory doesn't explain the timing, the sonic boom, or the genetic anomalies. The alien theory doesn't explain why the cells look so similar to algae. The government never released a final report. The samples are locked away. And that impossible, terrifying, beautiful red rain has never fallen again. Today, if you visit Kottayam district, you'll find no memorials, no museums, just elderly residents who remember the summer the sky bled, who kept samples in plastic bottles until they turned brown and useless, who tells their grandchildren about the day they thought the world was ending. Dr. Louis still believes. In his small laboratory, he still has vials, still runs tests, still waits for someone to take him seriously. The universe is vast, he told a journalist in 2019. To think we're alone, that Earth is special, is the height of arrogance. The red rain was a message. We just refused to read it. So here's my question to you. If life arrived on Earth today, riding a comet into our atmosphere, would we recognize it? Or are we so convinced we know what life looks like that we'd miss it entirely? The Kerala red rain might have been our first contact, and we called it weather. That's all for today. In our next video, we will cover the psychology tricks social media uses to steal your attention and how to get it back. If you want more stories where science meets mystery, subscribe to Fluxaris.